Hey, good morning. It's Dr. James. I hope you're off to a wonderful start today. I'm so grateful to see you. Thank you for your time and thank you for your energy. And this morning, I want to share an answer to a question that I have a pretty good feeling that you and I have struggled with over the course of our life. This is a question that comes up a lot for spiritual seekers, comes up for people who are wanting to express the highest version of themselves. They want to create a life that they love. They want to feel like their life is fully purposeful and one that is alive with passion. We often ask ourselves, do I pursue holiness or do I pursue happiness? Is it happiness or is it holiness to help me create a life that I love? And oftentimes when we try to figure out is it an either or experience, we lose ourselves in what I believe is the true answer. I know this from my own experience, from a wonderful, very humbling time in my life. I say it was wonderful because it was probably the biggest change and the most important thing I ever decided to do in my life early on, to get off a track that was dark, to get out of habits that were self-defeating, to move out of time when I was deeply depressed and I was critical, and my life was one of continuous struggle. This was in my early 20s, and I looked at my life and I said, you know what? You're not going to last. And maybe you don't even want to be here if you continue like this. So are you going to change everything about what it is that you do and what you represent for yourself? And are you going to pursue happiness or are you going to pursue holiness? So I moved into a spiritual community. I left everything and I moved into a spiritual community where meditation and service and potentially one of the most important practices I've learned in my entire life, karma yoga. It's a Sanskrit idea that simply means selfless service. And in this spiritual community, I practice karma yoga every single day. I made granola. I worked in the herb garden. I meditated. I served. I looked for ways to become more and more helpful to other human beings in my quest to be holy. Because my life before this experience was hell. It was a living hell. And I couldn't continue going on, so I pursued the holiness of serving others. And in that experience, I learned the most important thing about living my life with a type of passion and purpose that allowed me to feel like, oh my goodness, not only does this feel good, I'm happy. I'm happy. And what I've learned in the last 30 years between medicine and being a clinician and doing this work together with you each and every day is that it's not happiness or holiness. It's the togetherness of both of those practices. And now science tells us it's absolutely this. And we can choose happiness and holiness as one beautiful practice. And here's how it works. The first thing we have to remember when we're looking at the combination of happiness and holiness, it literally comes down to this wonderful practice called ikigai. Ikigai is this Okinawan word that you've heard about before. We've discussed it before. And it simply means I have a reason in the morning to get up that's bigger than me. I have a purpose in my life that's bigger than me. So that really speaks to two things. The holiness of being in service and what it means to be a beneficial presence on the planet, to serve others. You are alive to the degree that you serve. And we realize through that practice of serving others, the holiness of that endeavor is that happiness ensues from there. When we're in a space of serving others, we raise dopamine, we raise serotonin, we lengthen our telomeres, we change our DNA. The Okinawans who practice Ikigai each and every day are some of the longest lived, happiest people in the entire planet. They're not happy because they have a ton of stuff. It's they serve in such a way that it changes their physiology, changes the neurochemistry, so their holiness is their happiness. Their happiness is their holiness. The second piece is intrinsic motivation, which basically means I am on a quest to become the best version of me, not because it's going to make me look good, not because it feeds my ego. It's because the most important way that we continue to do the wonderful things that make us come alive, we eat clean food, we move our bodies, we do all we can to become a wild, wonderful success in our life. It's because it's a service to other human beings. When we're extrinsically motivated, when it's all about us, and it's all about the me, and it's all about the ego, not only does our telomere length suffer, not only does our DNA suffer, our happiness suffers. Extrinsic motivation, which is ego-based, that says, you know what, I do all these things so I can be hot and cool and amazing, and people can say, hey, look at you. Guess what? That's one of the fastest tracks to sadness. And it's one of the saddest tracks to anxiety and feeling like our life has no purpose. So intrinsic motivation is happiness and holiness. And the nice side effect is you get a chance to motivate yourself to do everything you came here to do. So The number one thing I want to share with you today is that we get a chance to move from me to we, and happiness becomes holiness. Your holiness is your happiness. So, what are we going to do today? We get a chance to bring happiness and holiness together. Namaste. Much love, many blessings. Have an awesome day. Bye for now.